Hi everybody! Welcome back to the KL White-Hartman YouTube page. I am so grateful that you're here, and I want to encourage you that if you have not already, please like and subscribe to this page so that you get notified whenever there's new content available. Not only that, but share with your friends, because truthfully, there is information on this page that is going to help you as you progress, as you grow. These videos are designed to be tips and tools and provide a little bit of mentorship and share some of the things that I learned from my mentors that helped me to get to where I am today. Now, if you want to know a little more of my story, you can go back and check out some of the other videos. For today, I'm going to jump right into today's content. Today, I want to talk to you about your comfort zone. Now, all of us have comfort zones, right? We have areas where we feel comfortable, maybe in our health, maybe in our habits, maybe in our finances, in our relationships, in our careers. But the truth is that success often lies beyond our comfort zone. And so today, I want to talk to you about the idea of the comfort zone, some things related to that, and then some ways that you can actually break free of that comfort zone and start to move forward. So C.S. Lewis has a quote, and it goes like this. He says, "We are like ignorant children who want to go on making mud pies in a slum because we cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea." You guys, how often do we settle for our mud pies in the slum, not knowing that we could be having a holiday at the sea, right? We're so used to, so accustomed to what we already have. We get so stuck in our comfort zones that we forget that there might be something so much better out there for us. And so I want to remind you today as we start talking that your comfort zone has a way of keeping you stuck. It has a way of making you think that this is the best there is, or that this is all that's worth trying for, and causing you to forget that there's a whole other world out there, that you might be missing out on that holiday at the sea. And so I want to encourage you to keep that idea in mind as we explore leaving the comfort zone. Now, leaving our comfort zone is challenging, right? Because it's comfortable there, and we don't want to leave that. We don't want to be uncomfortable. And so some of you may have heard of the law of the rubber band, or some people call it rubber band theory of personality. So John C. Maxwell gives us the law of the rubber band, and he talks about the idea that in order to grow, in order to be useful, we have to stretch like a rubber band, right? But the law of rubber band theory for personality says that we can only stretch so far, because if you stretch too far, you snap, right? You snap right back to where you were, and that's no good. And so it's the same when we leave our comfort zone. We have to be able to inch forward out of that comfort zone. We have to stretch a little, we have to grow a little, but we also have to not try to stretch too much all at once, right? We've probably all tried to take on some drastic diet or some crazy change in our lives and adopt all kinds of new habits at the start of a new year, right? This is why so many people fall off the bandwagon and lose sight of their New Year's resolutions several weeks into the year. It's because they tried to change too many things at once and they snapped back like that rubber band. And so as we approach leaving our comfort zone and starting to stretch and grow, remember that it requires a little stretch, but not an overstretch, right? And the last thing that I want to tell you about the comfort zone before I break into the 3 ways to start escaping your comfort zone is from the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Jeff Olson talks about the fact that things that are comfortable right now, things like bad eating habits, not working out, sitting in front of the TV too long, not growing ourselves, those are comfortable, right? They're easy to do. It's easy to relax on the couch and not go do that workout. But the truth is that those things become uncomfortable later on because maybe you end up overweight, out of shape, unhealthy, right? Maybe you end up financially where you don't want to be. It's comfortable to swipe that credit card right now, but it's uncomfortable down the road when you have to pay it back. And so the things that are comfortable, that are in our comfort zone, often will become uncomfortable for us later if we don't take the step to get out of our comfort zone. And conversely, the things that are uncomfortable right now, going for that run or doing that extra workout or eating healthfully or, saving money, those are uncomfortable at the moment, right? But they become comfortable later on when you have good health or solid finances, right? And so we have to remember this idea that the comfort zone, while it feels comfortable right now, often will become uncomfortable for us later if we allow it to keep us contained. And so I want to share with you 3 ways that you can begin to get out of the comfort zone. If you want to grow, if you want to move forward, if you want to do those things that are slightly uncomfortable now so that you can be comfortable down the road, if you want to stop settling for mud pies and instead go to that holiday at the sea, if you want to stretch just enough that you can start to grow and shift your comfort zone and shift yourself, then here's 3 ways that you can do that. The first is to have a dream and a vision for where you want to go and write it down. So a lot of us think, I'd like to be different, or I wish my life was different. We don't really know exactly what we want. And so the best way to get ourselves out of the comfort zone is to know where we want to go, right? We have to look at where we are right now. We're stuck in this comfort zone, but where do we actually want to be? Maybe that's better health. Maybe that's better finances. Maybe that's a bigger home. Maybe that's living in an entirely different way. Whatever it might be, we have to get a picture in our mind of what it is that we want. And then we have to get that down on paper. Because oftentimes we have a tendency to forget or to push those things aside and say, oh, it's not that important. I'm going to stay in the comfort zone another day, right? But the truth is, when you get that solid vision in your head of that holiday at the sea, of where you want to be, of where you could go with your life, of what your health could look like, of what your finances could look like, of what your relationships could look like, when you get that image in your mind and then when you put it down on paper, something changes. It solidifies, and it's no longer an idea that you can keep pushing to the side. Your brain starts to kick in and say, no, we need to go after that. We need to stretch for that. And so the very first way that you can start to get out of your comfort zone and start to stretch for something new is to know what you want and then get it down on paper so that your brain is engaged with that idea and it's locked onto it. So you know when you're taking that step out of the comfort zone where you're actually headed. The second thing that you need to do if you want to start to break out of the comfort zone, this ties in with that law of the rubber band with the personality theory about snapping back, is not to take too big of a step out of the comfort zone, right? Because when we do that, oftentimes we get sucked back in because it's too hard, it's too scary, it's difficult, right? When we take a small stretch out of the comfort zone, it may be a little uncomfortable, but it's not too hard, it's not too painful, and we can maintain that, right? And then as we stretch a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and our comfort zone starts to move, we become more comfortable with that habit, and then we stretch a little more and we become comfortable with that. And so our comfort zone moves with us. And so we're always stretching, but we're not overstretching. And so the key here is whatever habit you want to take on, whatever new goal or identity or whatever it is that you're chasing, what you've written down with your vision, think about what the smallest step that you can take towards that is. And it might still be uncomfortable, right? That might mean making a phone call. It might mean setting aside a little money in savings every week. It might mean that you have to go out of your way to do something nice for your spouse to build your relationship. It might mean that you have to go for that run every day, or that you have to eat salad at lunch instead of a cheeseburger, right? There may be some uncomfortable things, but if you do the little stretch, you can usually handle that. If you try to overhaul everything all at once, it's like stretching that rubber band too far. It's going to break and it's going to snap back, right? And so I encourage you to take a little step and to make it small enough that it's a little uncomfortable, but not too difficult, okay? And then the third way that you can start to get out of your comfort zone and to move forward is to remember that those small steps will get easier over time, right? We talked about the fact that Jeff Olson tells us that things that are comfortable right now often become uncomfortable in the future. And the things that are uncomfortable right now, making those good financial decisions or those good health decisions or those good relationship decisions that require extra work and energy and effort from us, will become more comfortable later on because we'll start achieving the results that we want. We'll start having that better health. We'll start having those better finances. And as those things come into play, it becomes more comfortable, right? And so I want to encourage you to keep that in mind, to know that the discomfort will only last for so long, and then your comfort zone will start to expand and you'll be more comfortable with those new habits, with that new identity, with that new success pattern. And so I hope for you that if you're sitting here and you're thinking, yeah, I've kind of been in my comfort zone. I've kind of been allowing myself to stay here because it's easier, because it's comfortable, then it's time to stop playing with mud pies, right? It's time to go to that holiday at the sea. And you can do that by accomplishing a vision of where you're going, putting it down on paper, by finding that small little step so you can just stretch a little bit and not too much. And then remembering that those things that are uncomfortable right now, they'll start to become more and more comfortable. But the things that are comfortable right now, they might become uncomfortable over time if you allow yourself to stay stuck in them. And lastly, I want to give you just one more quick tip, and that is if you're still thinking about the comfort zone, if you want to know a little bit more about it, if you want some more ideas, and if you want it in a story form, then I recommend that you check out The Dream Giver, which is by Bruce Wilkinson. It is a great book about a character named Ordinary who takes advantage of leaving his comfort zone and goes to somewhere else so that he can accomplish all that he was made to do. And so if that's you, if you feel like you're ordinary, you're stuck in your comfort zone and you want to get out there and see what's on the other side, then check out that book. Try these 3 strategies. I'd love to hear how they help you. Feel free to drop me a comment below the video. But that's all I have for today for you guys, but keep checking back. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go back and check out the other videos, you guys, because there is lots of success principles in these videos, and they're things that helped me transform my life over the last decade, and I want them to help you too. So I can't wait to see you succeed, and I will talk to you again soon. Make it a great day.